Okay, in the last video, we did some work with sample distributions, and particularly with a mean. This time, we're going to take a sample distribution, but we're going to take the proportion of a population. All right, so the best way I think to approach this is to view this from an example. So let's say that I asked a question of a group of every American, right? Do you believe that America is heading in right direction? And we find that 35% of the people in America, not a good number, believe that America is heading in the right direction. So we're going to say that this is what we're going to call P, right? This is the percentage of the people in the entire population that believe this is true, and that's 35%. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to try to find a sample. So we're going to take a sample of like 25 people at a time. So we're going to take samples of size 25. We're going to take a bunch of these. Okay, and what we're going to find is that these samples are going to be, if I take the portion of these samples who say America is heading in the right direction, that's going to be my number P hat. So this is the part of sample that says yes, America is heading in the right direction. Okay, so these P hats, if I take a whole bunch of these samples, are going to be normally distributed. And if they're all taken from the same population, then this is going to be centered at P with a standard deviation, and here's the tricky bit, of P times Q over N, and then take the square root. And Q is, as always, 1 minus P. Okay, so these things are going to be normally distributed with a mean of P. So the mean of the P hats is going to be equal to the P of the population, that 0.35. And the standard deviation of the P hats is going to be the square root of P times Q over N. All right, so that's like the mathy details of this. So let's go back to our example here. All right, so in our example, P is 0.35, 0.35, right? That's going to imply that Q is going to be 0.65 because 1 minus 0.35 is 0.65. We're taking samples of size 25. So this means that the distribution of my P hats is going to have a mean of 0.35 and a standard deviation of 0.35 times 0.65 over 25, take the square root. Now, if you work that out, that's going to come out to be exactly or approximately 0.0954. So, like trying to find usual values here. So we're going to take the usual value, the mean of 0.35 plus, or minus rather, minus 2 times the standard deviation, 0.0954, which gets me 0.1595. And if I take 0.35 plus 2 times 0.0954, I end up with 0.5404, which means that if I take a sample of size 25 from this population, I should find that between about 15.95, so it's about between 16% and 54.04, and 54% of the people will say that the country's heading in the right direction. Now, that's kind of a big window, but it's accurate given my information here, right? So like usual values for a sample of size 25 from this population is going to be between 16 and 54. So there's an example of working with a sample distribution of a portion of a population, and we'll work with this some more in class.